Okay, how we doing out there, everybody? Today's Friday, October 1st, I believe. And today I'm going to be showing you a little video of my Heritage Arms manufacturing Rough Rider and 22 short, long, and long rifle and 22 Magnum. And I've had this thing about a decade. Bought it back in 2011, 2012, something like that. And I've really shot a lot of rounds through this. How many? I don't know. Way more than 1,000 over the decade. And I'm going to show you what it's doing. When you cock the hammer back, if I aim this down, because I'm going to show you the reason why. When you pull the hammer back, the cylinder rotates. Okay? Now watch this when I point it up. Nothing happens. Okay, now I'm going to show you the reason why in a minute. I'm going to take this apart and show you how to fix this. And there's a million of these videos online. And what was happening when I was shooting this, sometimes it would go bang and sometimes it would go click. And I noticed that the cylinder wasn't indexing correctly. And being it's a rimfire, it was hitting dead center on the top, I believe, when it was firing, and when it was misfiring, it was hitting off to the side, which means the cylinder was out of time, which is definitely not cool. That's dangerous. If the bullet goes off, it'll miss the barrel or skin the barrel and throw shrapnel back in your face, so that's not cool. Now this little gun will shoot 22 shorts, 22 longs, which I don't have. That's a 22 long rifle, and that's a 22 Magnum. And to fire that Magnum, you have to change cylinders out. You got to put the Magnum cylinder in. All right, so let me get set up. I'm going to try to get this on a tripod, and I'm going to show you how easy this is to take apart and fix. And I'll also tell you a little story about what happened when I called the Heritage Arms Company, which is now owned by Taurus. You get this little schematic with your pistol, and this part here, 5.1, is the cylinder hand with the little spring on it. And what happened is the spring broke, and the little spring keeps the fingers out to engage the notches in the cylinder. So I'm going to pull this apart and show you, but when I called Heritage Arms, they would not sell me that part. They said that is a restricted item, and they wanted $50 to ship the pistol to them, $20 minimum gunsmithing fee, $20 minimum parts fee. So basically they wanted almost as much as I paid for this thing brand new. I think I paid like $120 for it when I bought it at Academy with both cylinders. So, you know, $90 plus maybe additional parts, and I just laughed and hung up the phone. And oddly enough, I ended up getting the piece I need to fix this off of eBay. You can buy everything on eBay except for this piece, which is the receiver. That's the gun. That is the piece that has the serial number on it. That is the actual firearm. So you can sell anything else except this piece. All right, so let me set up the camera, and these are the tools required, a couple of screwdrivers, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to fix this. I'll be right back. Okay, let's try this and see how it goes. I'm going to try to stay out of the frame. First thing you're going to do, push this screw in, pull this pin out, open the loading gate, the cylinder will come out. Okay, next thing you're going to do, this is so simple. You got to remove these screws. Hopefully I'm catching this. And I'll show you that here in a minute. I'll start with this one here. I've had this apart, so it's pretty loose. Take these two out. Hopefully I'm catching this. Now when you come to the underneath here, you're going to want to be careful. I like to hold that down with my thumb, and I'll show you why. Okay, the screws are out. See this little spring? You take this little spring out. I hope I'm catching it. I really can't tell on the camera. The spring's going to come out. There's going to be a little pin's going to come out. And then the loading gate's going to come out. Now you're going to turn this over. See, we got it broken down. Now I'll show you the defect. Pull this back. See the hand fall down? See how that's the defective part. That's where the spring is broken. Now all you got to do to take that apart is take out this one screw. And there's the little piece that turns the cylinder right here. And the spring, I don't know if you can see it, it's broken. So I'm going to go over here and get the new one. I can remember where I hit it. There it is. That's the new piece with the spring. Okay, this came in the mail yesterday off of eBay. And now you just put this back in. Kind of hard to do with all by myself. And this is going to go in here. This is going to go back in. You put your screw back in. There we go. Now you can see, look, see the little hand pointing out, little finger, or hand as it's called. You watch it pop out when I pull the hammer back. All right, I gotta go get some Loctite and I'll put this thing back together. I'll be back. Okay, I've taken the time to Loctite these screws for reassembly. I did this one off camera because I needed two hands to hold everything, and it was a bit much trying to do the camera thing. So the reassembly is as follows. As your loading gate goes back in. Close it. Hopefully I'm catching this, I can't tell. Keep my hand in one place. And this little pin goes back in. Skinny side up. Spring goes back in. This just drops back on. Hold it with your finger. Hopefully I'm staying in frame here. These, I just put these in loosely for now. And you're going to put the two in the back. Apologize if this is going all over the frame. Try not to drop these little screws. Actually, the only thing I've ever dealt with on this, in over a decade I've had it, is these screws coming loose. For some reason they're not wanting to go back in. Alright, I'm going to shut this off for a minute and I'll be... Okay, I'm sorry I was unable to film that because my eyes aren't that great and I couldn't really see these little screws I was dealing with. But when you get it back together and you tighten it up and Loctite it, you should hear 4 clicks before you put it back together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has a crossbar safety, which I don't know if it's showing up on camera, which is odd, but actually it's kind of cool. So you can dry fire this without hitting the firing pin. So there you go. And then when you cock it, you'll see the little hand come out. Okay, then open up your loading gate. You're going to drop your cylinder back in. Close it. Insert your pin. Push that down. Put it in half cock position. That helps. And as you can see now, it's spinning quite nicely. Pointing it up in the air like it wasn't moving before. That's what it looks like. You can catch in a little hole in there in the cylinder. There you go. She's all set. So that's all there is to it. Like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't film putting the screws back in. I just couldn't do it between my eyes and the lighting. Little black screws and a black gun and holding everything together. Just not going to happen. I have no assistant. So anyway, that's the Heritage Rough Rider. This was the piece where the spring broke off. I actually have the piece of spring. I'm going to knock that out and I'm going to put a little JB weld and put the spring back in it and keep it as a spare. But like I said, I've had this. Good idea to Loctite all your screws. All gone. It's fun. It's accurate. So I'm not complaining. It's back together now. Good idea to Loctite all your screws. As I said, that's the only problem I've had with this gun is the screws come loose. So you Loctite them in, you're all set. Use some of that blue thread locker and you're good. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go load it up and head out back and do a little plinking. Thanks.